Hello, everyone. It's time for Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Casanas. This is episode 377, season 16. Today's date is October 29th, 2024, and welcome to the show. On today's program, I'm going to talk about a restaurant that I remembered, and a lot of people from the south side of Chicago did. It was called the Driftwood Steak House Restaurant. And that was located on South Pulaski Road, around 43rd Street. And I have a menu, and I'll read the items on the menu. And from what I've heard, it was fabulous at that time. Also, I will talk about my memories of Halloween. I've done this before, but I'll discuss it again. So because Halloween's coming up in 2 days. Woo! Always like that. Anyway, right now we're going to go into a commercial break. And this program is brought to you by Zingers from Dolly Madison. And here is a Halloween commercial from 1980. Ooh. The ghost won't leave here. No. Okay. So sit back and relax, and I'll be right back with the show, folks. Thank you.
10 zingers, 9 zingers, 8 yummy zingers, 7 zingers, 6 zingers, 5 tasty zingers.
Everyone wants to zap gold cake with vanilla frosting, devil's food with chocolate, raspberry with coconut, all with cream centers.
These 1 zinger to zap.
Right now, in specially marked bonus packs, you'll find a pumpkin decorating kit and 2 extra zingers.
Trick or treat.
1 trick and 2 treats from Dolly Madison.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Zingers Snack Cakes from 1980. It's a Halloween episode. It doesn't feature the Peanuts characters. They used to feature those guys, during the 1970s when they showed the Charlie Brown animated TV specials, especially the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. They don't show it on regular TV anymore. Same thing with Charlie Brown Christmas. You got to go to Apple TV, which kind of stinks. It's not fair. Or buy it on DVD. So don't mess with tradition, okay? That's my advice. But it's me against the big guy, so I can't say anything. Oh well. Anyway, I love Zingers. My favorite was the chocolate ones, the chocolate frosted. And they had the cupcakes called Cuckoos. It was like the Hostess cupcake. I did a podcast commercial about the Zingers, and they're still around, but they were bought by Hostess. So, So if you try to find the episode, I don't remember offhand which episode it was. Do a search and you will find it. And then you can go on YouTube and do a search of Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast, or you can type in Dolly Madison with it or Dolly Madison podcast. You could find it and you could listen if you'd like. I went into a little more detail of that product. Good. Okay. Anyway, at the top of the program, I mentioned I'm going to talk about the Driftwood Restaurant that was located at 4330 South Pulaski Road in Chicago. I think that's the Brighton Park neighborhood, I think. Or is it Archer Heights? I'm not sure. And also I'll talk about some Halloween memories from my childhood. I've done this before, but I'm going to talk about it again. Before I get started, I have an update on my health, and it's a doozy. So I went to the doctor yesterday, my regular doctor. He took some blood. We talked. He says, you look good. One thing I was concerned, I said, doctor, I can't lose weight. I tried. Unless I do more exercise, which I can't stand, like going to the gym or do stuff like that. He says, no, just stick to walking. You're okay. Don't worry about it. But, it could be the medications I take. Probably. The ones I take, Orgovix and like Sandy at night. I'm not as tired as I used to be. I'm a little better, so that's good news. I received the test results today. Yeah, pretty quickly. Everything is fine. My glucose is good. My cholesterol is good. My kidney function is good. Let's see what else. Oh, my calcium is the same. It's not elevated. So that's good news. So it's like on the border. So I'm all right. I will get another Zometa Fusion, like a shot, on November 15th. And this Thursday, I'm going to take another blood test for my PSA because the order's in already. So I'm going to go on Halloween morning just to get another blood test and then take the, for the PSA. And then I'll get the test results. Then I will let everyone know on Facebook or X, the results. Sounds good. If it was high, I think the doctor would have contacted me and go, "Oh, it's elevated," ooh, like that. But no, nothing so far. So I guess it's all right. So that's for my oncologist on Monday, and I'm going to see him for another checkup. We'll see what he says. This afternoon, I'm going to talk to my other oncologist who was responsible for my radiation the past few months ago. I had that spot on my rib. She's going to do a follow-up. It's at 1:00 in the afternoon. So I'm going to speak to her and I'm going to tell her what's been happening. So that's good news. Otherwise, I'm okay. I'm doing fine. I wish I could lose 15 pounds or 20 pounds. But please, if you want to lose weight, don't do anything drastic or crazy. Just do the normal, slow way. It's boring, but it works. Trust me. And it's for your health. It doesn't screw up your metabolism or anything like that. Okay. Right now, we're going to talk about the Driftwood Restaurant, which is the Driftwood Steak House. I remember this place. When I used to commute to downtown from my old house in Chicago, I used to see this place. And I was fascinated by the sign and the decorum and all that. I've never been there. I wish I had. From what other people have said, it was awesome. It was a great place to eat, and they had great Super Bowl parties, and and the food was top notch, delicious, and very memorable. And it was there for a long, long time. Yeah. So right now it's torn down at the moment. Right now it is. It's been for quite a while. I don't know what's there now. Probably a strip mall or something. I haven't been into that area in a long time. Anyway, so I used, like I said before, I used to see this place when I came home from work or going to work. If I did that today, it was like, it's gone. It's going to feel weird like that. Anyhow, I have found a menu on eBay. Luckily, it was for sale, and I'm going to read off the items, and it's probably some of the items that a lot of people have patronized in the past. They've eaten there, and they probably remember all the delicious food they had. So I'm going to read it right now. Okay, so here we go. Okay, here we go, and we're going to start off with appetizers. What they had was marinated herring. Not a fish person. Yeah. Shrimp cocktail supreme. Ooh, like that. This back then, I don't know how old this menu is. So the shrimp cocktail supreme costs $1.25. Wow. That's cheap. You can eat like 4. And they had soup. Probably soup of the day, tomato juice. They had a la carte, which means serve all the time. They had a broiled small filet mignon. That back then was $3.50. Ladies special steak, more than the snack. I wonder what that meant. They had a lean pork chop, thick and cooked golden brown. It's in parentheses, like the tenderloin steak and brochet, little tenderloin on a skewer, open-faced prime rib or beef. Ooh, that sounds good. I haven't had prime rib in a long time. Oh, I miss it. French fried jumbo Gulf shrimp. Not a big shrimp fan, but that sounds good. Chopped sirloin steak. And it's always served with a salad bowl, baked potato, rolls, and butter. Yeah. Okay, sandwiches I had. They serve this all the time. They had open faced steak sandwich, chicken club sandwich, kosher corned beef sandwich, BLTs, big lettuce, tomato, charbroiled drift burger. Oh, I love hamburgers. And it was served with French fries and pickles. Their Sunday special is all you can eat was family style Southern fried chicken. And that cost 2,050 cents. Children was $1.50. And that was minimum. Kids don't want to eat too much. Don't blame them, They had a conference room. They had a meeting, like a room to rent. If you had parties, for a wedding reception or a baptism or any business meeting, you had to call. And the phone number back then was LA3-0088. This is the prefixes like that. And it accommodated about 10 to 20 people. That's awesome. That's very nice. Okay, now we go to the entrees, and this is from the charcoal broiler. If you ordered steak, so this is how it's read, because this is kind of strange. If you order steak rare, it's a red cool center. If you ordered medium rare, that's red warm center. If it's medium, it's pink hot center, and it's medium or well done, it's broiled throughout. Okay, that makes sense. The steaks they had was sirloin steak, New York cut, filet mignon, top sirloin butt steak, center cut pork chops, charcoal broiled chicken, fresh from the farm, according to that, southern pan fried chicken, and charcoal boiled baby spare ribs with their own special barbecue sauce, and prime rib of beef, as the way you like it prepared. Seafood, they had succulent lobster tails drawn with butter. I guess they pull it out. Broiled Florida red snapper, broiled Lake Superior whitefish, and French fried jumbo Gulf shrimp, which I mentioned before. Also, they had, I'm sorry, I keep repeating that. It's all you can eat filet of Lake Perch, fan fried. If you like that, I like perch. It's not bad. My mom makes it, so it's very good. And and all the entrees are included in the following: their bottomless salad bowl. So they probably had a huge salad bowl there, and your choice of dressings. French, Russian, Roquefort, garlic. I don't see Thousand Island because that's my favorite. Yeah. Oh well. They had soup, tomato juice, potatoes. They had russet potato, baked potato. You could have it, and with rolls. Also, a charbroiled skewered mushrooms and French fried onion rings. Okay, that sounds good. Also, they had, for dessert, they had sherbet, ice cream, and cheesecake. And beverages, they had tea and milk, but I'm sure they had coffee or Coke, or Pepsi. I'm sure they had that. One thing they did not mention in this menu, this came later on, they had all-you-can-eat crab legs. They did say that. Some people on Facebook mentioned it, and I'm sure they did. So maybe I should have got a later menu, but this is the best I could find. Menus are hard to find. Anyway, everything sounded wonderful, So I found the obituary of the owner of he built and operated the Driftwood Steak House. His name was Michael Kalinowski, and he did the cooking as well, and also ran the place. So he went out of his way to make everyone feel good and comfortable. If there was a problem, he would try to make his customers happy. And he was just a very nice man. Sounded like, I wish I met him. That'd be great. And he opened the Driftwood as a bar and lounge in 1955. And then it just got bigger and bigger. And later on, they built an addition. Then he added a banquet hall and all that. In the 1960s, he opened the famous Red Barrel. And that's a restaurant that was A-framed, the roof that was on Archer Avenue west of Pulaski. That one's closed, but you know what? They reopened it, and I don't know who runs that. I don't know if it's someone in the family or somebody else. According to some people, it's not the same, but the food back then I heard was delicious as well. And so he just he was a workhorse. He hardly had any days off. He just loved to work. I think it was in his blood like that. So that's awesome. He was like my father. He loved to work like that until he couldn't. Unfortunately, he passed away on April 21st, 2003. He was 74 years old. Young, very young. So, yeah, he died of pneumonia. So that's a shame. So my condolences to the family. I wish I had memories of going to this place, but, I never had the opportunity to do that. So it sounded awesome like that. Which, incidentally, I am going out to dinner with my friends. We always get together once in a while. Yeah, so it'll be nice. We will do this in honor of Michael. Like that. Okay. All right, now I'm going to take a quick break, and then when I come back, I'm going to talk about my memories of Halloween, which I've done this before. I said this again and again and again, and then so I'll be right back, folks. Thank you. Okay, everyone, I'm back. Right now, I'm going to talk about my Halloween memories when I was a kid. Just like every other kid, you would grow up and your mother would buy you a costume, for school or for trick-or-treating. When I was little, Halloween scared me to death. It really did. My earliest memory was when we lived in South Shore neighborhood in Chicago. We lived in an apartment. Across from the hall, a woman put up a skeleton, decorative skeleton paper, and I was scared to death every time I looked at it. And once I looked at it, I started screaming and yelling and crying. And I refused to go outside, So it was hard. And my mom, it was frustrating. But, he looked so real to me. I hated it like that. So the best thing what my mom would have done is, she'd take her hand and cover my eyes, and we just walk down the stairs. Until like that. But she was going to go and complain, to take that thing down, but she didn't have the heart to do that. So it was only for a few days. And once Halloween was over, the thing was gone. So thank God. Every year I dread Halloween because it gives me an uneasy feeling. When November 1st comes, I just have a big sigh of relief, and I just feel wonderful, refreshed, and I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's beautiful. Anyway, so when I was in Correios, the elementary school, the grade school, we had Halloween parties. I wasn't really scared. I remember my first costume. I don't know if it was my first, but it was one of them. I dressed up as Woody Woodpecker. And I begged my mom, I need a Halloween costume. And I said, okay, we'll get you that. And I wore it, and I looked pretty cute. I don't know if there's a picture of me of that. I wish there was, but no. So we had parties at the school. We got candy. We had some cupcakes, a punch. It was fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun like that, but still uneasy. One of the worst parts of Halloween is what was on television. They put on scary movies, especially creature features on Saturday nights. Oh, that scared me to death. Right now it's nothing. I watch Universal movies, Dracula, Frankenstein, The Wolfman, The Mummy. They're wonderful films. I love them. They're the classics. And, but back then as a kid, that music and, the theme song, from Experiment with Terror, composed by Henry Mancini. dung, 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 dung. And then Marty McNeely did the voiceover. Oh my God, that was scary. And it aired on Saturday nights at 10:30 on Channel 9, WGN TV in Chicago. And that ran from 1970 to around 1976, something like that. So then more came. Around that time, there was the Svengoolie, which aired on Channel 32. That aired on Fridays. The man was portrayed by Jerry G. Bishop. I didn't watch much of him. I remember seeing him. He wasn't that scary. He was funny. So like that. He ran for a few years, like 1970 to 73, 74, or something like that. Then, as years went by, more scary movies came, and, I tried to avoid them. The worst part, here's a scary movie that's not Halloween related in a way, is Jaws. So I refused to watch it because I went to the theater with my friends. I was 12, 11. I saw the first scene with the woman getting attacked by the shark. That was it. I closed my eyes for the rest of the time. I only opened them from the things that didn't involve the shark. So I can't watch the movie. I just can't. It gives me nightmares. I had nightmares for days with that movie. And there's certain movies I refuse to watch, that is too scary. Like Friday the 13th, or like, I don't know, Nightmare on Elm Street. They're a little disturbing, or Aliens or stuff like that. Oh, no, I don't like horror that much. I like to be scared, not to be disgusted. There's a difference, with suspense. Anyhow, I did go trick-or-treating as a kid. That was fun. I didn't go much in South Shore or Roseland. I moved to Ashburn, in the mid-'70s. I did go a couple of years, went down the block. Some of the people who lived there were kind of creepy themselves, and they always said, if you get apples, be careful of razor blades, or don't get fruit, get a lot of candy. And that was fun. I dressed up in costumes and all that. And so it's kind of cute now to see little kids dressed up, in Halloween. They look so adorable. They come to the door. There's not that many that comes to my house now. Not really. No. Anyhow, so as you get older, every year I dread it, but now I'm used to it. I get a little uneasy, little bit tiny, but I'm okay. I'm okay with that. So it's not one of my favorite holidays because it makes me uncomfortable. When I worked at American Express Travel, they always had an annual Halloween party, which is fine. That didn't bother me. But, it kind of conflicted with my work. So I didn't want to dress up. I did a couple times, but, I got tired of it, because I was exhausted. I had a long commute. I didn't want to dress up. My boss wasn't thrilled, but, I'm tired. I don't want to do this. Besides, we're too old. This is for the kids. I love when the kids came over. We gave them candy and all that. Then the next day, everything was back to normal. Everything was a mess. I look forward to that at the time. So, let's see what else about Halloween. So it's now it's more geared to adults. I don't know if that's a good idea. Maybe most people disagree, but it's for kids, but adults, I'm talking about people my age, like, almost toward Medicare. They want to do this, to, dress up and like that. If you do it at home and you have a party, that's great. But if you go out, no. Or if you go trick-or-treating with the kids, that's okay. But it's not something I look forward to. No, everyone has their own favorite holiday. My favorite holiday is Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's what I look forward to. It's beautiful. It is beautiful like that. Yeah. So, sorry. Let's see. Okay. Oh, there's one other memory I had. When I lived in South Shore, on 75th Street and Exchange, that's near the Metro. It used to be called the Illinois Central. There was a Walgreens on the corner, and they had masks, Halloween masks on display, and I hated that. So somebody took me to school, and I looked at it and screamed, and I went right across the street, right in the middle of traffic. I almost got hit, and I ran home. Oh my God, that was embarrassing. I screamed my head off, and, I didn't want to go to school. So my mom was busy at the time, and then she had to drop everything, and then she had to take me herself, to the school. Well, thank God we weren't late. So there was no way we went through that, but the thing is, we took Exchange Avenue, not 75th. I don't know how we did it. No, we took 75th. We went on the other side of the street, and I had my eyes closed, and then she crossed the street with me, and then we just went there to Bradwell. And we did it for a while. Of course, these days, I'm sure they did this back then. They put up Halloween decorations early, very early indeed. Plus the fun stuff is candy. You have a lot of candy like that, and I'm trying to avoid it like that. But it's, of course, there's some candy that I don't like. There's some candy I do that I overeat. So that's okay. All right. So that's it for that. Oh, I got to pause for one thing. Thank you. I'll be right back. Okay, everyone. I'm sorry about the interruption. Something came up, so I'm going to finish the episode right now. So that's it for this program. I'll do a recap of what I talked about. I talked about the Driftwood Steak House Restaurant that was located at 4330 South Pulaski Road in Chicago. And I read a menu from that. Also, I talk about my Halloween memories as a child. That was a lot of fun. Anyway, this podcast will be published later on today, wherever podcasts are available: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Overcast, Breaker, whatever apps you have on your devices. Just tap them and tap following. You'll receive the latest episode. Just follow, and you can listen to previous episodes as you like. Also, it'll be on my blog, vanishchicagoland.blog. And click on the link; it'll take you right there. Also, it'll be on my YouTube channel again and again and again. People have asked me, where do I find your podcast? Where do I find your podcast? You find it on YouTube. Do a search. Type in Vanish Chicagoland Stories. Or my name, Pico Stanis. You will find it. Tap subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. You can listen to previous episodes as you like. Take your time. They're there. Also, be sure that my social media accounts: Facebook, X, Reddit, LinkedIn, Threads, Instagram, Blue Sky, and TikTok. I think I got them all. I think so. Okay, so that was a fun episode. I will probably do another episode this weekend. We'll see what happens. So, this is Pete Costanis, your host for Vanish Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. Thank you for joining me. Today is going to be a gorgeous day. A nice day to go out to dinner, that is. Everyone have a happy Halloween. Be safe. Don't eat too much. I won't. Well, at least I won't try. I'll try. I'm trying not to. Okay. So here's Ray Rayner with a little. No. So here's me saying. Yeah. So here's Ray Rayner with a little traveling music saying bye, bye, bye. And here's bye, bye from me. Take care, everyone, and so long.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.